Welcome to another hopefully quick episode of Monday Movie Pickup. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I did an unboxing of this movie on my daily Cinephile channel. This is the Walmart exclusive, which comes with this pin. For those Disney pin collectors out there. Like a lot of Lucasfilm releases, it does come with disc art, even though the movie was not really the success I think they were hoping for. Typically, the amount of effort that goes into the Blu-ray release, from Disney anyway, it depends on just how successful the movie was. And in this case, I don't think the movie was nearly as successful as they wanted it to be, but I still enjoyed the movie. I did a review of the movie that's also on my daily Cinephile vlog channel if you want to watch that. It's worthy of being in the Indiana Jones complete collection, even though I don't know if there's ever going to be a plan to do a complete collection of those movies. This one's owned by Disney, the other ones are owned by Paramount. Are they going to work out the rights issues to do one 5-movie Blu-ray collection? Will physical media even be a thing by the time they figure out the rights with that? Fast X. And this was one I had ordered for Black Friday off of Amazon, so I was just waiting a while for this one to show up. And this was another one that the movie was pretty ridiculous, but I thought it was an improvement over F9. So this one I thought was a little better. A pretty wild cliffhanger. I don't know if I really liked it. I don't know if it really works for the movie's overall story. Watching this, you could tell that they took a lot of notes straight up from Infinity War. The way the movie is structured, the way that they try to set everything up and get everything to gradually move towards that cliffhanger. But I don't know if they really pulled off the cliffhanger necessarily, because how's 11 gonna start? Are they gonna immediately get themselves out of that predicament and then the rest of the story goes on? Like, that's not very exciting if the cliffhanger is solved in the first 5 minutes of the next movie, but I feel like that's the position they put themselves in. The Fast and Furious movies have gotten so ridiculous, but I've still remained a fan. F9 really hurt me, but Fast X, I thought it goes back to what is, I don't know, silliness that makes sense, I guess. I don't know. F9 just didn't make sense. The Scarlett Letter, this is the original movie, which this is actually the one that they reference in Easy A. So never having seen the movie before, this is the release that comes from the Film Masters. They recently did a release of the Giant Gila Monster. I bought that movie, and they're doing a couple other, it looks like monthly releases of just some lesser known movies that haven't received a good transfer for home video releases. Like the Giant Gila Monster, that's one of those movies that you can find it in any one of those cheap public domain movie packs, something like from Mill Creek back in the day, and it doesn't have a good transfer, but the Film Masters is finally doing something about a lot of these movies. This one is not a double feature. The other Film Masters releases have been, but they're doing a select few releases where it's just one movie, and this one is hailed as a classic. So it looks like they're gonna be doing a range of classics and other things that are a little more of the B movie appeal, but they're forgotten. They haven't been given the time of day as far as the restoration department goes. Like, we're waiting on one that's coming out this month. Actually, it should be this week. It's gonna be The Terror. The movie with Boris Karloff and Jack Nicholson, and then there's a movie coming with it, The Little Shop of Horrors, which is the big reason I want to get it, because the original Blu-ray that they did for Little Shop of Horrors, that Blu-ray is long out of print, and I have no idea what the restoration was like, but the Film Masters seems to be doing a lot of great work. George Harrison, Living in the Material World, this is the documentary from Martin Scorsese, and it's I've been trying to get some of the Martin Scorsese movies and just sort of watch Amazon to see if any of the prices go lower, and this one happened to go to a place where I was happy with the price. Here is a couple Shout Factory Blu-rays as part of their, they did like a sale of, I guess they overlooked gems. It was something like that. So stuff like Mac and Me. I think most people know Mac and Me nowadays from the Conan O'Brien sketch. Or the joke that they do with Paul Rudd every time he's on the show. The movie it's not good. It's got a lot of issues with it. It is an E.T. ripoff. It was also partly financed by McDonald's. At least they paid a lot to have a heavy amount of advertising in it. And these faces that the aliens have, that's just the faces they have throughout the entire movie. Even when some of the aliens' family who also make it to Earth, they die at one point. Yeah, they're like dead, and they are brought back to life by drinking a Coca-Cola. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but it was something like that, and it's horribly ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun to watch. Here's some Shout Select releases. So this is City Slickers 2. I have the first movie, but not from Shout Factory. It was the original Blu-ray release. But the second movie, I don't think ever got a Blu-ray release until Shout Factory took it on. So this is the 117th release. And yeah, I've never heard anyone talk about the second one. The fact that I've never really heard many people talk about the first City Slickers, the second one I barely even knew existed. Here is Cool World. I've always heard about this movie. This is the movie from Ralph Bakshi that famously did terrible at the box office. It does have Brad Pitt in the movie. And I think this is pretty much the first time the movie's made it to Blu-ray. And Cool World was the 138th release, but I have Car Wash, which is the 23rd release. Yeah, I'm trying to grow this collection as much as I can. I actually bought this Blu-ray off of eBay, not part of the sale, so somebody already went and flipped the original cover art around. So like, this should be the cover that you see when you buy it from Shout Factory itself. But whoever owned it before, they flipped it to this side. This must be the original poster. Still growing that Shout Select collection, but also the James Cameron collection, which he's got 2 other movies coming out. A few movies coming out to 4K, but 2 movies in particular, their first time ever hitting Blu-ray, even Blu-ray disc. We have The Abyss, and finally True Lies. I've been waiting for True Lies for a long time. I think it's a very underrated James Cameron movie, and I've actually never seen The Abyss. So it's going to be great to add both of those 4Ks to my collection. We've heard rumblings about those releases for a few years, that James Cameron was working on the restoration. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those. And then after those are out, it seems like the only other movies we're waiting for that hit a Blu-ray release. You know, there's those like really rare, obscure movies, but as far as like famous directors go, we're waiting for the early Peter Jackson movies. Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, and last but not least, Brain Dead. But this is Piranha 2, so The Spawning. I've actually never seen the first Piranha. I don't know much about it. Maybe I'll buy that movie at some point, but of course everyone knows Piranha 2 was the first film that James Cameron directed. It would have been cool if they talked to James Cameron for this release, if it was one of the special features. It doesn't look like it is, but it's cool to add it because once I get The Abyss and True Lies, I should have a pretty complete James Cameron collection, besides some documentaries. But that's everything this weekend. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video, and special shout out to Lauren, Anthony, Anna, Kirsten, Spencer, Lucas, Ryan, and Robert for the support on Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you can get exclusive videos and blogs, and for only $7, you can request your own movie review. I hope you stick around, Cinephile, and have a happy, productive day.